Hello, we are Team F2. Our project name is Low Cost EMG Controlled 3D Printed Hand Prosthetic, and we're going to show you the demonstration of our project so far.
This is our first working prototype. Here you can see all the electrical stuff. We have two servo motors, one for the thumb and one for the four fingers. Then we have one battery, and we have inside one Arduino with a small breadboard that connects all the cables. Here we have a malware sensor that is the one used to control the hand. Now we're gonna show you how it works. Like, you can see that our hand is closed when there's muscle activation, and when she releases, the hand goes back to rest. Here we have every finger. We have the pinky, the ring, the middle, the index, and the thumb. We can see that the thumb, it's made as a joint, so it can have its own movement. That's why it has its own servo motor. We have that the thumb closes first and then the four fingers, so there is a smooth movement of the hand. Each finger has in between each joint a spring to keep it open as a rest position. And here we have silicone tips and coverage for a better grip. We can see that we have three joints, and in each joint there is a spring, and there is a rod that goes through the spring to keep the spring in position for it to not move. This rod that we see here is not the final one, it's gonna be changed. This is the EMG sensor that we are using to control our hand prosthetic. This is a malware sensor that it reads the muscle signal from these two electrodes, and the third electrode is a reference electrode. When the person flexes the muscle, the sensor is able to capture the muscle activity, and it makes our motors move to be able to close the hand. And when the person relaxes the muscle, it goes back to rest. Our sensor is connected to the bicep because our amputees will have a little bit of muscle here, but not enough to receive enough signal for the sensor to detect it and for our servo motor to activate. This reference electrode goes close to the bone so we can detect the correct signals. Here in this part we have a screw a flat screw with screws at the end going into the connection between the socket and the palm. This is because it's not supposed to have long mobility, so too much mobility, because we're just focusing on making a functional hand, not a whole arm.
The reason why we have a rod here instead of 3D printing it in one piece is because in case there is some kind of movement, for example, if a person hits their hand on a chair or something, it can be put in the correct position, the resting position, with the other hand of the subject.
This is the top of the socket. This little box is for the amputee to be able to open the cap and change the batteries. Right now the cap it's not able to be opened because it's not our final design, and it's supposed to have 4 magnets in each corner inside for the subject to be able to open and change the battery and close it.